Today we are reminded of a great atrocity against humanity, of a great crime of history, of a tragedy that still has grasp of the world today. 100 years ago, the so-called Great October Socialist Revolution began. The Bolsheviks began their insurrection, and Russia would be led into a chaotic civil war for the next 5 years. When the dust had settled, an era of persecution would take hold of Russia and later Eastern Europe, leaving behind a trail of martyrs, tortured and killed for the sake of the Soviets' militant atheist beliefs. The communist leadership went after two institutions during the war against humanity: the Crown and the Church, the two most traditional foundations of society. The Bolsheviks wanted to wipe off the face of the earth. They had no use for the Tsar or the Patriarch. Dukes and bishops were fair game to them. Their ideology was obsessed with an impossible, materialistic utopia penned by the late Karl Marx. We should not be surprised that nearly a year after the revolution began, Lenin ordered the execution of the Romanovs. Perhaps we should call it a slaughter, or to identify it as what it truly is, the martyrdom of the Romanovs. The Soviets did not simply put the Tsar to death. No, instead they had the whole family killed. They were shot, stabbed, beat to death with clubs. The children and their parents suffered the same gruesome fate. Yet the Soviets knew they had gone overboard and only publicized the execution of Nicholas. They deceitfully told the masses his family had been relocated somewhere else. With not just their monarch, but the entire royal family murdered, the people of Russia were subject to a civil war that would fail to prevent the Red Menace from taking control. Even as that war raged on, the persecution of religion began. The Soviets separate church from state and barred religious education from all schools. The Bolshevik leadership was excommunicated by the Russian church for this, and the communists took it as an excuse to shed blood. Church property was seized. Bishops and priests were executed, alongside monastics and the faithful laity. This was all part of a violent plan to rid the world of religion as a whole. Atheism was the man-made religion of the communists. Before the end of the Civil War, the militant atheists had wiped out 579 monasteries and convents. These liquidations were marked by mass executions of monastics, nuns, and clergy. Does this not show the brutality and the hatred of their policy at its core? What reason did they have to kill monks and nuns who lived isolated from society, dedicating their lives entirely to God? This video marks the beginning of a series on the tragedy of atheistic communism, of the atrocities committed by Marxists against Christianity. The brave men who fought against the destructive revolutions will also be remembered, alongside the martyrs who shed their blood for their faith in the Lord Jesus Christ.